Hello, everyone. My name is Trent, but most of you know me as IT Guy, and welcome back to the Blockchain Gaming Podcast. In this episode, I have ApertureCat on the show to talk about the interesting changes in Coin Hunt World this week. We'll talk about the changes to the system vaults and other general Coin Hunt World topics. So, without any further ado, let's just jump right into it. ApertureCat, how you doing today, man?
I'm doing great and glad to be here.
Yeah, totally happy to have you to discuss some of these kind of crazy changes that have happened in Coin Hunt World. I guess they're some of the big ones. I got to I mean, I've just told you this, but I kind of got to preface this episode with I haven't been playing a lot recently. So I've probably hit like 10 vaults a day. That's maybe if I remember opening my phone while I walk to work, but just been kind of busy taking a relaxer after the grind that, May was. So I've been on a slight hiatus. I've been keeping up on the Discord, but as far as playing the game, I haven't done a whole lot of that this past week. How about you?
I've slowed down because I played really hard for Hawaii trying to do that quest.
Yeah.
Make the first actually completed quest, and so between playing hard for that and wanting to relax a little bit, and then the changes, uh, I've slowed down quite a bit, but definitely not quitting.
Yeah. No, I guess we'll get into that. But so before we get there, I guess a lot of the people out there don't really know who you are. You're very active in the Discord, but I'm hoping not all the listeners are strictly in the Discord, but maybe that's wishful thinking. I guess we'll just kick it off with somewhat of a player introduction. So any accolades or achievements that you have in Coin Hunt World inside of the game or in the community that you're proud of accomplishing?
Not really. I feel like I'm kind of new in the community as far as I started right after last Halloween, so
Okay.
I haven't been part of a lot of the OG stuff and the Cat
Mhm.
Mania and the Elementals and all of that fun stuff. Hawaii was the first quest I was actually able to compete and complete.
Okay. So on your wiki page, I find this really funny. So on your wiki page under announcements, it says that you took a nap.
Yes.
So I was hoping, what's the story behind that?
It was when I was creating the page and I didn't really have anything
okay.
there, so it was a placeholder,
Mm-hmm.
and I decided to just keep it. It's cat-like, and everybody refers to me as the cat, so it's
Right on.
going to stay there as an achievement.
Yeah. So you're also on the wiki team, I guess.
Yes, I started recently. Okay. I don't really have a lot of time to sit down and put a lot of work into it, but when I can sit down, I try to get in there and help with some edits and stuff. And it's a good group of guys in there.
Yeah, totally. Well, I thought that achievement was really funny, and I guess that's why this next one kind of took me by surprise. I was wondering why this one was even written down, but you completed the Hawaii event on the final day, which is, that's actually really clutch. So did you write that yourself?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
That was,
yeah.
But being my first event, I've been kind of not really key rich.
Right.
The first event I was around for was the Miyagi.
Okay. Yeah.
And selling some of the event resources from that kind of put me in a spot where I could play comfortably.
Right. Yeah.
And then it wasn't until Hawaii when I actually felt like I could actually do something bigger, do a full event chain.
Right. Yeah, it's funny how you can get those resources from, your first event. If you don't really know what you're doing and you just collect some of those resources, you can sell them, and then that kind of keeps you in motion for the rest of the at least the year. You know what I mean? Especially if it's a big event, right?
Yeah. And with the Miyagi, I hunted pretty hard. I was a brand new player, didn't really have any keys, so I was going key booth to key booth, trying to forge up a green key,
right.
trying to get that blueprint to drop. And the blueprint never dropped, but I got enough in resources to do the print and buy the blueprint after it ended.
Yeah.
So it paid for itself, plus gained me extra keys.
Well, the blueprint after that event ended was pretty cheap, wasn't it? Like, how much did you pay for the actual Miyagi
I think we
blueprint?
paid like 280, which was like I think it was going for like 350 in some cases, and I got
Okay.
it pretty cheap. But as far
Mhm.
as an epic blueprint, that's a steal.
I've seen it cheaper than that too, so it's pretty good. But in recent days, it's actually gone up like pretty tremendously. So I think the last one I saw maybe 800 keys. I don't know. Again, this whole
Wow.
week I haven't been checking the auction house very frequently at all. I have been logging in for my mystery boxes though. I can't
You
stop
have
doing
to,
that. Yeah.
because if you miss one, it's the 50 box.
I did get a 50 this past week. Oh, they feel so good. Have you gotten a few of those?
I think I've gotten like four maybe,
Okay. Oh,
and one was in that like initial like the 420
okay. Yeah.
gigs.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, they feel really good.
Right on. So, when did you first get into Cornhole World? So I know you said you started at after the first Halloween event. Where did you find out about the game? Like, do you know who your referral is and things like that?
Um, it's kind of fuzzy, but I'm pretty sure I found it probably through Reddit,
Okay.
uh, as a lot of people do.
Hmm.
But I've been in this type of game for like years. I was playing Ingress when it was a beta test, and I played that heavily for like 8 years. And I beta tested Pokemon, even though I wasn't really into it. And so this kind of game is just kind of a natural progression for me.
Mm.
Um, so when I saw it, I was like, ooh, because I was just starting to really get into crypto,
Hmm.
plus looking for something else to do. And I was like, oh, this is my type of game and it's crypto. I'm
Yeah.
going to try it out. So,
The
uh,
stars aligned on that one. Wow.
yeah, nobody referred me, and I'm kind of sad about that.
Aw.
I'm an orphan.
That's too bad. So did you? So Miyagi event. That was your first event. Wow, that's too bad because that means you missed the cats.
Yeah, I remember joining Discord because I think I installed the game and then like immediately like day one or day two got into Discord, and the hype was everybody was still hyped up about like
Oh yeah.
Halloween and the cauldrons and the black cats, and then the cat mania was right before that, I guess, right?
Yeah, I have my episode with Manel is labeled Cat Mania.
And so I hopped in like right as that was like everybody was coming down from that event.
Hmm. Yeah, and that was a big one too. That was when we first, I mean, after the elemental invasion, but we started getting on this train of new structures and like new things for events happening. You know, so it was a lot of excitement around the Halloween event, especially because you got to sacrifice all your cats for an extra rare blueprint. That one was pretty interesting. Because also with the cat sales that whole week beforehand, man, it's hard to remember back and think exactly what my plays were that I did. But I think I only bought 20 cat blueprints. Have you bought any off the auction house and printed any?
I've never once held a cat blueprint,
Oh,
which is crazy. But and I kept looking, and I've been shopping for them, but now Illusion Weaver's talking about them coming back, and I'm just like, well, since they are definitely coming back, I'm just gonna wait for the shop
yeah.
and completely run out of keys when that happens.
You plan on buying a lot, eh?
Every key.
Nice, nice. So also your profile picture is a cat. So, um, is it Jack Sparrow? Is that what I'm looking
It
at?
is. It
Oh,
is. I got the Kivo strings to do
yeah.
it, and I had a couple of ideas, and I was like, because I've always been into pirates and cats, so I was like, I want to do.
What a
I had another.
combination.
Huh?
I
Yeah,
said, what a combination.
yeah, and I was like, I want to do like a cat QB dressed like a pirate, and
Nice.
I was like, it might be cool if I went with like a Jack Sparrow, so I sent him a picture of Jack Sparrow and
Hmm.
and just said, cat QB dressed like Jack Sparrow, and he kind of ran with it, and uh, he did way better than I expected. I'm
I know he's so good, isn't
really
he?
thrilled with it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say your QB looks great. I'm also a real big fan of Pirates for some reason, but not just Pirates. Pirates of the Caribbean. I just love that franchise. It's one of my favorites. And it's got Johnny Depp in it, all that. Without getting political, he's a great actor.
Yeah, he brings his own weirdness to the
Oh, I
characters.
love it.
You can't hate him.
No.
Characters. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's funny that you say, well, the cat blueprints are coming back, and that's known. So I'm also planning on doing the same thing you're doing. I'm going to spend a ton of keys when they come back around because when the time came and they actually came out, I was this was back when key booths were still available, right? And I had about 10 key booths in my area. So what I was doing every day was collecting my 10 keys and not hitting any vaults to stack up green keys in order to buy cats. So I ended up only being able to afford 20, which is 400 keys worth, which is not a lot, right? Obviously. So when they come back around, how many do you plan on getting?
I guess it's going to depend on how many keys I have, and what other kind of events are right behind it that I want to have keys for.
Yeah.
Which is, it's getting tough. The key sinks are coming at us really fast now.
They're coming at us way too fast. Like I can't even catch up. I'm gone for a week and I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like we had the log cabin coming and it got delayed, but in its place was, we have a new summer QB now.
Wait, what's the log cabin?
The HQ skin.
I'm unaware of what this is.
Oh, okay. So the first HQ skin, minus, not counting the quest rewards that people have gotten.
Okay.
Is supposed to be a shop drop for 1 yellow, and it's a log cabin for your headquarters.
Okay.
And supposedly it's, in the next few weeks.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. So there is a new shop drop coming out. It's the summer QB, but I do remember them saying that, like the developer saying something along the lines of the next thing that comes in the shop is going to be a structure, or I don't know. I guess that was that said.
Yeah.
That was said. Okay. I'm not going crazy. That's obviously not happening. Things pop up. I don't know what else to say really. I feel like they're not telling us future plans, so it's hard for us to say, oh, you just came up with that. But that's what it feels like they're doing.
Yeah. It's there's a lot going on. There's a lot of changes and it's hard to keep up, and
yeah, totally.
It's fun, I guess, if nothing else.
That's true. So are you playing every day? Are you getting like walking quests done every day? How do you like that new mechanic?
Well, it's like 95 every day here. Whatever that is in Canadian units for our Canadian friends.
So you're saying it's hot there?
Yeah, and the humidity is unbearable. So I don't walk a lot. If we get a cool day, I'll go and do some of it. I was doing like 8 goals a day during the Hawaii event to try to keep up.
Yeah. Yep.
With the key count to try to get to the 1,200 volts. And so like after that, I was just like, man, I have no feet left. I don't want to walk them.
I think a lot of us felt that way. I mean, like I said, I haven't played in the past 10 days easily. Like honestly, not even. I have a park next to me and I haven't even gone over there to hit my own user vault. So I feel a little guilty. But I have this problem with games where I'll burn out, and if I burn out, it's not good because then I'll stop playing for a long time. So I try to take breaks if I like the game a lot. That way, it gets my addiction back relatively soon. I'll be back at it. I'm hoping by the next week. If not, we might have some problems. But I mean, with all these changes, I don't know. So, I mean, what do you think?
I don't know. Some of the changes are hitting people in the motivation, I think.
Yeah, I'd say so.
And it's interesting because it's a really good game as far as like these mobile GPS games. It's probably one of the best, and
Agreed.
It's only going to get better. But crypto is a part of that puzzle.
Yeah.
And so when it gets hit that hard, a lot of people are going, okay, now do I want to keep doing this, or do I want to go do a different game? And it's kind of hard to say. I mean, it is a really good game.
Yeah.
And even without the crypto, it is a solid game.
Well, the thing is that, you're right. Right now, what we're going through like a crypto bear market, which, doesn't help anybody's psyche or mental, but, one of the best things about this game is that during bear markets, this game is beneficial, right? Because you get paid 10 cents no matter what. So it's actually, hunting the dip is quite normal, and you should do it. So it's funny how this game can actually be one of the motivating factors to get out there and start hunting again because of a bear market. So I've always liked it for that reason, where I would get down on myself if it was a bear market without Coin Hunt World, but once Coin Hunt World was introduced, it was like, oh, I don't mind a bear market because I can go out there and hunt, and hunt the dip.
Yeah, you're theoretically earning more per vault.
Exactly. Yeah, and like that's where you want to keep it.
When I started, it was like 160 something sats per vault, and now it's like getting close to like twice that much.
Yeah, exactly. And then so it makes you look back on times. So when I first started playing, it was about 20,000, and then it went through a big dip, and then it was about 50,000 Gwei. And then I remember, a few months later when I'm playing the game, I remember the time where it was 50,000 Gwei, and I think to myself, I'm like, if it ever gets back to that, I'm gonna hunt extra, extra hard. And now I'm just sitting here. Not doing it. I feel a little guilty, but I am hoping other hunters and players, such as yourself, are really taking advantage of something like this that's going on right now, because the prices are really good.
Yeah, it is really good, and I still hit my user vaults. The system vaults hurt a little bit more now,
right?
But I still try to like at least hit my user vaults in the area twice a day.
Yeah.
And I've got, you were talking about the park. A 30-minute drive from me, there's another player, and we've started filling out vaults around the lake trail.
Okay.
So we can walk around the lake, and me and him both have quite a few vaults there, and hopefully we can get some more players to like do a full circuit around the lake, because it's
right.
It's like 5 miles.
Okay. Yeah.
On the lake. And that's a pretty good amount of your walking quest done doing one lap and hitting all those user vaults.
Yeah.
And that'll be nice when it cools off a little bit.
So that's the plan, filling out that one. And who's that other player?
That would be Blam Balam. He's down here in Georgia with me.
Right on.
He's not real active in the main Discord, but I
see him on Twitter.
Yeah, he tweets a lot.
Yeah. I was gonna say I see him on Twitter. So you're down there in Georgia. That means you're in the same area as Anakura.
Yep.
And have you've met up, right, and hunted together, right?
Yeah, we've met up a few times and hunted a lot. He's been really cool. I think day one when I hopped in Discord, he found me and adopted me right off the bat. Got local Discord. He's just a really cool guy, really smart, really friendly.
Yeah.
Love hunting with him. Walking around his tech campus is great.
Yeah, totally. How's the hunting there where he takes you?
It's amazing because it's all walkable, or sometimes I'll go down there by myself with the skateboard. Yeah. And cover a lot of ground that way. But like there's a ton of user vaults there.
Totally. Oh yeah. So campuses I found are so nice. Especially university campuses. My own college campus isn't great. But university campuses are pretty good, especially for user vaults. So I guess that's the glitch. I think a long time ago, I don't know if maybe you were around for this, but in the Discord, they had said that yellow vault or cranes would be added to all universities and colleges.
I don't think I was around when that was ever said.
Well, that was definitely said. So that's didn't happen. Obviously.
Yeah, I'm an easy 30-minute drive from another big college here, and I keep driving down there because it's it's a college campus, and I keep expecting to see user vaults, and there's none. There's like zero.
Yeah.
That's rough. It's such a great place.
Yeah.
I need to get some stickers out there.
And so you're in Georgia. You said it has been 95 this past week, almost every day. That's about 35 degrees Celsius. So pretty damn hot. And you mentioned you actually skateboard. So are you looking forward to the slow wheels walking or quests? Slow wheels quests? I don't know what it's called.
I am. I think that's going to be fun to see how they do and how well they can track that.
Yeah.
I can get some of the walking quests on a skateboard.
Yeah.
But it's not very efficient.
No. Same thing on the bike. It's probably a little more efficient on the skateboard. I think it might take a little bit of the speed into effect. I honestly still to this day, I cannot figure out how it works. It could be steps. It could be distance traveled. I'm completely baffled. All I know is that there's a certain amount of time I take when I walk, and when I'm biking, it's totally hit or miss. Like I feel like it's counting steps in my pocket, so like I'll try to shake my phone as I'm biking, but but yeah.
I think what they do is the combo of the phone movement and your speed, and it puts both of those together to try to figure out like if you're walking or if you're biking or if you're in a car or whatever.
Yeah, which is a little bit complicated. So I'm looking forward to the wheels quest as well. I think that might give me a little bit of motivation. I was super excited about the walking at first. Now it's maybe because I've stopped. I'm on summer now. I'm in summer mode basically. So I'm just at a summer job. It's kind of eating up a lot of the time. Maybe that's why I'm not fully focused, but I'm looking for something that'll come into the game that will motivate me to really want to grind it. But I got to say the changes to the system vault that just happened is not one of those things that motivate me, to come back into it. So we haven't like really officially gone into this. So let me kind of break it down for, I guess, if you're listening and you don't know what's going on here, right? So after they removed the key booths, everything that was left over was system vaults. And now with this change, system vaults have reduced crypto rewards. So this is a pretty big change, right? So in your area, when the nerf came, or I guess when whatever the great key purge happened in your area, how many system vaults were left over for you?
I had a lot of system vaults.
Okay.
It's pretty insane. I had key booths all over the place. And when they became system vaults, I was like, man, I can rack up a lot of crypto just like every time I go somewhere, there's vaults, in my way. And it was really nice. But now those are like 2 cents on a perfect.
It's 2 cents on a perfect, right? Technically the system vault is 1 cent for the base rate. If you're not in hunter mode, so it's a little it's definitely a small nerf. It's definitely a huge nerf. So how do you like it? Are you do you have enough user vaults to kind of sustain yourself and not hit, or are you taking a hit on your paycheck every Tuesday?
I'm taking a big hit because where I'm at, like my closest other player is 30 minutes away.
Right.
And like it's another 30 minutes to the next player.
Yeah.
And then, and then Atlanta has a bunch, if I drive all the way down there, it's like an hour drive.
You almost need your cats to set up user vaults for you, right?
Right. And I'm trying to get there, but he's just not getting it.
Those damn paws.
Yeah. So for me, I have, I've moved some of my user vaults to that lake. So right now I have, I think I have 8 here because I have one another player.
Yeah.
So that's like 8 twice a day is all I have without the system vaults.
Right. It's not a lot, is it? So it was a very big nerf, right?
Yeah. Well, it was for some people. Like if I lived, in Midtown Atlanta, I would be fine because it's covered up in user vaults, and I would.
Right.
I feel like a lot of players aren't going to notice the change, and some other players are probably going to lose a lot of motivation over this.
Well, it reminds me of the old school days when I first started playing, and all there were system vaults, and the idea was to refer people, right? Like the more user, it's back to the kind of the idea that if you get another player playing in your area, that's 10 more user vaults. Like that's the big thing, right? So because after the key booths got taken away and it was replaced with system vaults, I was very content with my area vault amount wise, right? I had more than enough. I had probably 70. But now taking away all of the actually, it's funny. Taking away all the system vaults and a player in my area got banned. So I lost 10 user vaults plus all the system vaults. So this past month I've been taking a real hit. Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Yeah, it's crazy. And I would love to have more people to recruit, but this just isn't an area. Like all of my like real life friends don't live close. You know, when my mom visits, I'm probably going to try to get her to plant some vaults, maybe.
Right.
You know, I referred her last time I went to Florida, and she still hasn't built her headquarters yet.
Okay. Yeah,
like, so she's going to need some hand holding, and
that's perfect for getting the user vaults down, though.
Yeah,
you could just you could just go for a walk one day, and it sounds like she has no interest in wanting to play the game, but it's kind of fine because you don't need the person to have an interest in the game. You just need them to take 10 photos.
Right. Well, now I need them to get to like, is it headquarters level 2 to build user vaults?
Oh, is that what it is? Honestly, I've
2 or 3. I think it's 2.
Yeah.
So you have to get the green QB blueprint and print it
No.
so you can wear it to do the upgrade. So you do have to play some. But once those user vaults are like planted, I can just be like, okay, now you can go back to Florida.
Yeah. You never have to open the app again. There was more to that change though. So not only did the system vaults take a massive nerf. So okay, sorry, I just want to back it up quickly. I used to never hit system vaults. I would never hit them. So when there were key booths around, I would save my keys only for user vaults because I wanted to get the resources out of them, right? But once the change happened, I was hitting everything. And I guess this was the reason why the switch back, right? Is because my average pay was going up double. It basically doubled, right? And I think what they said on the Medium article, yeah, I have it up here. And I think it was later changed, but on the Medium article it says that we realized the per hour earn rate of players far exceeded our goal. So, people must have been making more hourly than, before when keys were around.
Yeah, we as players definitely adapt to the changes, and especially on a game like this. And so like leading up to Hawaii, I didn't really have a lot of keys. So I was skipping system vaults, hitting all the key booths, only hitting user vaults. At happy hour, I might, go further. But, and then during the event, I'm hitting every single vault I can touch because I'm trying to hit that 1200. And then after the event, when everything kind of normalized, I was in that mode of hitting every single vault.
Yeah.
And then when they nerfed it, I'm back to skipping system vaults again. So every time they change something, we as players are going to adapt. And I think they underestimate how much of the player base is in it just for the crypto.
Yeah. And I would be lying if I said that I wasn't. I joined the game for the crypto. I joined the game because I was researching crypto. And I think like that's where everybody, got on board, was because they had some sort of interest in crypto, or it was a potential to earn a little money. So I think that there was that quote from Illusion Weaver, right? If you're, what was it, 80% about the crypto, 20% about the game, then this change is going to suck for you. And I don't want to categorize myself in that 80% for the crypto, 20% for the game, but I'm close to that. I'm real close.
I think for every player, the crypto and the gameplay are both big pieces of the puzzle. It's a great game. in and of itself, but like I played Ingress for 8 years, and when I finally got around to quitting, there was a number of factors, but one of them was looking back. My ex, we were playing at the time, and we looked back and thought about all of the time we spent in the car driving around or taking trips for events and spending money on food and hotels and all
Yeah.
this. Um, what makes this game different than other games is instead of spending money on it, you
You
can
earn.
make
Mm-hmm.
money, or even if you're spending money driving, you can get some of that back.
Right. Yeah.
So even if you're in it just for the game, the fact that it pays you to do all this traveling is a big piece of the puzzle.
Oh, it's huge.
So, yeah. So when that gets nerfed, even if you're not really in it for the crypto, now you got to think about, okay, well now I'm spending more money driving around, or
Mm-hmm.
time away from home, so I'm eating out and all this kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah. I so here's where I'm at in the current situation. I will continue to play. I probably won't stop playing even if they took away the crypto rewards, because I would have to try it. So I wouldn't be able to just be like, oh, I'm not playing anymore because it's there not there. I definitely have to give it a shot, maybe a month, play it for a month, see if I still like it. If I didn't, I would you'd probably hear something about it. But I do really like this game, and I think that you know I just have problems with a long time ago. There were, or every month, I'd say every month for the past year, they've said things along the lines of expect nerfs because they're coming, and that was very logical for that type of thing to happen, because they are shelling out a bunch of money. I don't expect them to just write me a check, as Zach would say. But at the same time, they've also said that they expect crypto to rewards to increase if they get on the right track on like a business wise. So there's a lot of conflicting statements. There's a lot of not knowing what's going on in the development process, which I kind of understand, but we don't know anything about the business process. We don't know anything about the treasury process. We don't know anything about really anything. We know about events 2 weeks before they come out. So if I had a little bit of beef, it's with that. Again, that's not going to stop me from playing the game. But I guess you got to expect nerfs if a game's just shilling out a bunch of money to you. How long can that really go on? I guess, right?
yeah, and I think ultimately we just have to, like, I try to like not look at anything concrete until it's on my phone screen in the game.
Mm-hmm.
And as gamers, we just adapt to the changes, and we may not like all the changes, but we will adjust.
Mm-hmm.
Some people might play differently instead of going out purposely to play. It might be oh well, I'm going here anyways, I might as well do stuff on the way. And another change they announced was like no crypto during events, which is going to be huge for people.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Just right before we get there, they also changed the vault timers. So green vaults now respawn every 48 hours, while yellow vaults respawn every 2 weeks. So on top of the system vault nerf, they've nerfed green vaults and yellow vaults. Which, okay, I would say that for those players raking in the Boku bucks, this probably hurts the most. Seeing a green vault, your green vaults respawn every 24 hours. Um, I'm a little upset about this, and I only have 2 green vaults around me. So like, I don't know how someone who, because that's your moneymaker. I'd say your green vaults are your moneymakers. Blue vaults, in the grand scheme of things, can add up, but oh man, the green vaults definitely jack your paychecks every Tuesday. So that's definitely a big hit. And then I don't even know if they need it. I don't know about you. Do you have a yellow vault near you?
The closest one is in Atlanta, so it's an hour away.
Okay, and have you hit it a couple times? Once?
Yeah, yes, I have. Every time I go down
Okay.
there, I try to like throw like 5 or 6 keys in it until I get a question right. But and then near me, I have 3 green vaults, which
Okay.
like you said, when I was motivated to hit those every day, that adds up.
Mm-hmm.
And it's only 3 vaults, but like if you're doing that daily, it adds up. And now they've cut
Yeah.
that in half.
Yeah, I know. That's so that's just an added nerf to the already. So I guess the idea behind this whole nerf is because they're giving out too much money, right? Is that's what's going on?
That's the feeling I got. Yeah, I mean, um, I keep seeing conflicting responses from the developers in Discord, but the general idea seems to be that like they're giving out money too fast.
Exactly. Okay.
The game's not going to last if they run out.
Which is fair, and I understand that. So obviously they were running out very quickly, I'd say, because this affects a lot. I'd say this can bring down your crypto rewards more than 50%. That's for me. At least for me, it brings down my rewards more than 50%. Which is kind of crazy. I will say, benefit of the doubt. I'm getting now about the same as what I got when there were key booths.
Yeah, I think it's going to hit every player differently. Like role players are going to be hit with the blue system vaults being nerfed. Some city players that can't hit, some cities have like a couple of yellows.
Mm-hmm.
Not being able to do that weekly, or people that travel to double dip the yellow.
Yeah,
they can't do that anymore.
Well, they could do that just every 2 weeks.
No, I think the reset timer is now if you.
Oh, it's 2 weeks, right? Wait, what do you mean?
I think the reset timer is based on when you hit it. So like my 3 green vaults here, I hit one day, I hit the other 2 the next day, which means now when they reset, the first one resets first. I still have to wait 2 days for the other 2.
Wow, that's how they did it?
Yeah, and so the yellows
that's not good.
So you can't go like Monday morning and hit. I think I'm pretty sure that's what
I would say that's a mistake because they used to have vaults on timers like that, where when you hit it, it was 24 hours after you hit it, which is a problem. That's a horrible mechanism for like timing it and things. So I really hope that they change that if that's the case. That just goes to show, man, I have not been playing. I haven't hit a green vault in like 14 days.
Yeah, I think the way Illusion Weaver described it was like when you hit the yellow vault, or he might have been talking about the green, but it's 2 UTC noon resets before it resets again. Wow. So it's still on that same time of day.
Yeah.
But it's based on when you hit it last.
Okay. It's very confusing to me. I think that I'll get it when I go out there and start hitting vaults again.
When people start playing with the new mechanics, we'll know more about how it works. But that's the way I understood it. So like if you go Monday morning and hit the yellow vault, it has to go through a full like 2-week cycle to reset again.
Right. Okay.
It's not reset right after you hit it.
So again, that's what you're saying. It'll put a wrinkle in people's plans to try to double dip yellow vaults, which was a not very common strategy, but it was an uncommon strategy that people could do if they lined that up. Damn, they really came after us on this one. It gets better.
They were really thinking ahead on like, okay, how are the players going to try to make up for the nerf?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, it gets better, right? So not only that was just everyday nerfs. So if you're kind of relying on system vaults for the sheer number of vaults to get a good paycheck, that hurt you. So now if you were one of those players who didn't really go out and hunt during non-events and just saved up all your keys, and then went really hard during events, which I know a lot of players did this, me specifically as well. I mean, look at me. I've taken almost a month off, and I would do this if there's no event going on and I have other in real life engagements. I'll take a break from Coin Hunt World, but now it's more profitable not to play during the events, to play during a bear market. It's quite profitable, but to play on downtime, such as now, where you get crypto rewards, but during events, you're no longer gonna get crypto rewards. What's
it's a
the
big
deal?
change. That's probably the biggest game of choices aspect so far.
I'm extremely confused as to why wouldn't they go with the idea of you know, doing a toggle. I would suggest like trying the toggle first, turning on crypto rewards or turning them off and getting bonus event resources, or finding a meter to go in between those, but turning off the crypto rewards for events, period, completely. Wow.
I think greens and yellows might still give crypto, right? Or was it across the board?
No, they said greens and yellows will give crypto, but they also said, I'm looking at the Medium article right now. They said that like don't be expecting that to stay, right? They said, please note that the higher tier vault drop mechanics may be changed in a future update. So they're basically saying we'll keep an eye on it for the first event, and if you clean out our pockets again, we're gonna have an issue.
So when the next event hits and all of us are hoarding on top of the green and yellow vaults.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Well, the thing is that the next event is the Canada Day event, which I'll be able to participate in. I'm assuming you won't. But I mean, I it's only 2 days, so I can only hit 2 green balls.
That's crazy.
Right. So, and I'm gonna need no crypto. Is the idea to not play during the events now? Like, I don't know what to say. Are you in it for the crypto? Or are you in it for the game? Like, well, what are you gonna do for the next event?
I don't know. I came because of the crypto, but I enjoy the game. Like I said, I've played this type of game for many years, so
Right.
I like the game. But at the same time, after these changes were announced, I realized that I'm in it for the crypto a little more than I thought I was. Because now I'm thinking, do I want to play during the event? Like, for the smaller 2-day events, it's not a big deal. I can go play that and lose out on the crypto. But like for the big 10-day events, I got to think, well, what's the end QB on this? Do I really like it enough to like play that hard?
Right.
For the full 9 days, because Hawaii for me was the full 9 days to complete the quest.
Was for me as well.
Yeah, and so like thinking about doing that and playing that hard with 0 crypto.
That's not happening for me.
And I haven't really made a decision, but like I'm kind of leaning towards, I might just casually play for the common and the
common and the rare.
Yeah.
Maybe the rare. Maybe. Yeah. There's no. I mean, if they're gonna do 1,200 vaults again, there's no part of my language, but there's no fucking way. You know what I mean?
That was a tough one for me, and I kind of feel like I'm a middle of the road player. I'm rural, but I do have city areas that I can drive to make up the difference. But it was a tough grind, and if I didn't accidentally get a red key out of a yellow vault, there's no way I would have been able to do it.
Wait, you got a red key out of a yellow?
Yeah, the first time I hit a yellow that wasn't a first question, I got a red key out of it, and I sat on it until the Hawaii event, and I was like, man, and I kept flip-flopping leading up to the event and during it, like, am I going to be able to have enough keys to do 12?
Oh, right, yeah.
I started with like maybe 500 something blue keys.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I was like doing the walking quests and selling stuff in the auction house the whole time, and just barely, like I was hitting 0 blue keys daily.
That's why you're so proud of getting there. Okay. Because
it was tough. And through the whole time, I'd go home at the end of every day and do the math, like how many blue keys do I need to finish this? How many vaults do I need to hit a day? And then on top of that, you have the flowers and the turtle shells to try to get.
Right.
But yeah, playing that hard for me without the crypto, just I don't know if I'm feeling it unless they have like some really awesome cat at the end of the quest chain.
Yeah, like a Jack Sparrow cat. That would be that's when you're going for it. So
Jack Sparrow cat or like a like a Voltron or something. I don't know.
something epic.
Yeah.
I mean, I completely agree with you. I think that they how could you tell us to hit 1200 volts and then go, okay, wait, that's too much? You know what I mean? They set it up. They set it up so
we jumped through the hoops that they put there for us.
And they wanted us each to get $120 worth of crypto. So they said 1200 volts. And now we hit that, and all of a sudden they're thinking about giving no more crypto vault. Well, it's happening. No more crypto for events, which is pretty crazy. I think that I'm in the boat where I won't be doing. I'm not going out of my way to do that, because an event for me, 1200 volts, is walking 4 hours a day. That's what that is. 4 hours a day for 10 days. That's how you complete. In my area, the quest, like that'll do the walking quests, right? Get me all the keys for the walking quests, and that'll hit me all my vaults, 60 or 70 vaults. And even during the events, I guess it doesn't matter because I'm getting no crypto, but I'll have to still hit system vaults. So, oh man, it's a whole mess. It's a whole mess. So, I think that the game has now changed, and I have yet to actually play this brand new game on the market.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting because they, I think Cuckoo Puffs keeps talking about like, well, when structures hit, it's going to be, it's going to be much more lucrative. And he's, it's very vague explanations as to exactly how it's going to make up the difference for having, 1 or 2 cent system vaults all over the place.
Yeah.
We'll just have to wait and see.
So I guess the new, the meta switches every time they do a big update like this, but I would have to say that the meta switch, for the leaderboards, it's all about walking. And now I guess for the crypto rewards, it's all about getting those referrals. If you can get, an extra 1-2 person in your area putting up their 10 vaults, that's the game changer right there. That immediately makes it this not a nerf to you. If you can get your extra 10, 20 user vaults in your area where all those system vaults were, this is no problem, right? You'll face a problem once you come to the event, but for the game's sake, or what it's advertising as, it wouldn't be a problem if you had 4-5 referrals all in your area, but when you have 1 or 2 plus yourselves, it's still pretty good, but it's not a lucrative game anymore, simply put, right?
Yeah. But you did make me think of a different aspect is those towns that do have enough players where it's all user vaults. Are those players going to make enough during non-event times that it won't bother them to lose out on the crypto, for the 9 days of an event?
What do you think?
I don't know. I don't live in that kind of spot. I've visited those places.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've got a taste of what it's like to there's so many user vaults that there's not room for system vaults left. Like everything has been wiped. It's all user vaults. There's no space to plant another user vault, and those are nice places to hunt. And if you're doing that daily, if I was doing that daily, then I may not feel so bad about spending some time during an event not getting crypto. But where I live, that's not going to be a thing. Like I'm going to hurt the event, so I'm probably not going to play hard.
Right, exactly. And I'm going to be completely honest here. Those players who are lucky enough to be in cities where there's hundreds of user vaults, there's no system vaults, you can't even find them. Those players, I don't think have gotten the reality check yet because there's no event yet. So this nerf hasn't really touched them yet. And I think come the next event, even the next event, it's not going to be really a big nerf because it's only 2 days. The Canada Day event is 2 days. The July 1st event, what is yours? The 4th?
Fourth.
You guys are so weird.
Yes, we are. That's a different podcast.
You guys had to do it 3 days after us, of course. Yeah. No, I'm kidding. But
you guys get to test the waters, though.
What's that?
You guys get to test the waters and see how the event feels.
That's true. Yeah. So we'll let you know, but I'm sure you'll figure out real quick. But only for a 2-day event. I don't think we'll see the impacts that hard. The problem is that the next 10-day or, quote, the big event, the next one that they're doing that's not July is going to be the second year anniversary event, right? So I guess that's where we'll really figure out where these nerfs are coming into play, is on the second anniversary event. And I will be lying if I tell you I won't play that event, because that event I probably will play just for nostalgia's sake, just for, collecting, being part of the game, being part of the atmosphere. That one I'll probably play. What about you?
I feel like I will, and I think there's going to be a lot of, they keep talking about all these changes, and there's a lot of time between now and then.
Yeah.
And that event could have any number of new mechanics for us to play with, and it might be just fun enough to do that. Plus, being, the big anniversary thing, that we're all going to play it. But after that, I think we're going to look at how much crypto we didn't get.
Yeah.
And have a better feel for the coming events later of how hard we're going to play those.
Yes. We'll know how badly it'll affect us.
Yeah. And it may be fine. We may come out of that event and go, you know what, that was fine. It was worth doing. It was fun. Or we might come out of it and go, man, that sucked because, I'm not seeing anything in my Uphold account or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. That'll be probably player to player, but you do bring up a good point where, that event could be, I mean, it's so far away. They've talked about bringing structures into the game that pay you crypto, and or structures that only have resources. So they've talked about crypto specific structures. So maybe they're opening up a realm for you to be able to place these structures down, because you wouldn't be able to place crypto structures if they were already shelling out so much crypto, right? So I think it could be a potential way to, block the dam or block the flow of water for now, because they're bringing in new mechanics. Maybe that's an optimistic look.
But that is a good point. It could be. It could be holding back the reserves now because they're planning on, opening up other ways of earning crypto later. But we're not going to know until we actually get there.
Yeah. The problem is we're not going to know until 7 days before that happens.
Yeah. And ultimately, I think it'll be when the event is over and we've all looked back and to see how much effort we put into it and what we got out of it, key wise or crypto wise or QB wise or whatever it is that brings you to the game.
So I guess, I mean, that'll probably be the way we figure it out on that anniversary event, on the second year anniversary event. We'll kind of figure out, how this game is going to move forward. I like that we have a bunch of months. There's 2 or 3 months before that to happen. There's one small event in between there. So, what I would say, here's my advice, and I should probably take my own damn medicine here, is that we should all be hunting, right? We should all be hunting as much as possible right now, hitting your user vaults, not system vaults, but hunting the dip, getting as much crypto out of the game as possible, and, saving your keys, because that could be a potential to earn later on down the road. But I think the next couple of months is a prime opportunity to make the crypto that you aren't going to make in the future, because the game is putting a stop to the amount you can make. I guess that's a nice way to put it.
Take this moment to stack the sats and stack the resin.
Yeah, exactly. How you looking on both of those?
I'm sucking for resin because I sold 100,000 recently.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, and I don't know why.
Because the prices were right. Okay.
I was just looking at my resin, going, man, I'm not building anything, and it's right. Structures are really far away, and I was like, I can drop 2 stacks of 50,000 in the auction house and get some keys, because after Hawaii I was key broke.
Yeah.
So trying to purge my inventory and get some of that back. And then like right after that, that's when it was announced that like the headquarters was gonna leveling up to 5 so that you can use skins is going to be 100,000 resin, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
now I don't have that. So it's fine. It's I'm hunting this user vaults and getting the resin back.
Well, I mean, now you have no choice but to hit a bunch of user vaults, right? So
I have to. I need the resin, need the paint.
Exactly. I did see that. So there's this new. Well, it's not new, but photo quests are now supposed to be more popular. I haven't played a lot, but I also haven't gotten any photo quests. Have you gotten any of those?
I got one
Okay.
2-3 weeks ago. I got one, and I keep waiting because they're supposed to be like a weekly thing now. And
A
I see
weekly
people
thing. Okay.
yeah, I see people on Discord left and right, like, oh, I got a photo quest. Oh, I got a photo quest, and I'm just like, I want one. I don't want one, but it's like I feel left out right now.
Well, my last one was months ago. They used to be such a rare thing. And now, well, don't they give you a resource box now?
Yeah, it's like a regular resource box, so you get like
Great.
the 25 paint. So
Great. That's
yeah,
only helpful if you have the architect QB because Zach gets bonus resin on those. Did you see
I
that?
saw that. That's amazing.
I need one of those QBs.
Yeah, and I'm thinking like, I don't know, for a photo quest, maybe make it a green tier so you at least get 100 paint.
I mean, just what's wrong with the mystery box? I guess the mystery box they didn't want because they're upping the amount of photo quests they're giving now.
Yeah.
I believe it's a great anti-cheat method. It's perfect, right? Because you do have to take a photo of your thumb.
Well,
and
apparently, like in the Discord, I saw where somebody like, it was 2 accounts that did a photo quest of the same thumb, and that's how they got caught. So yeah, it's a great thing, and I feel like it was. I'm making assumptions, and I don't know what these players were doing or not doing, but I feel like one of them traveled to a Yellow Vault location and did both accounts for this, one for them and one for the spouse.
Yeah.
Which would be, that would be a good explanation for why that happened.
Right.
Because traveling was involved because they were in my state and showed up on my leaderboard, and they live on the other side of the country.
Okay.
I'm like, okay, there's a Yellow Vault here. Maybe one of them traveled and wanted to hit that Yellow Vault for both accounts.
Okay. Yeah.
So they both got photo quested, and it was the same thumb because only one person was there to do it.
Who was that? Who was this?
I don't want to call anybody out because again, I'm making assumptions on,
I almost got it
on what I saw in Discord and trying to say, okay, how would a person do this?
Yeah.
That would cause them to.
No, that's the way they're getting people. I know for a fact that's the way they're getting people. I've had some stories shared in my DMs about that's how they've gotten people. And it's a great way to catch people on the same phones. If you're getting a photo quest from the same location, you can check. And if it's the same damn thumb, then it's the same person.
I think there was a tattoo involved. Yeah.
If you were a little bit smart, you would do maybe your right thumb and then your left thumb. But like even then, it's still very easy to tell. So that's a great detection. I like that they're doing it. I haven't noticed it being a more common thing. I guess it's. I might sneeze. Hold on. Have you ever had to look at the light? God. Okay, it's gone. Sorry.
That was the highlight of my day watching that, by the way. That was
there was no turn into a werewolf thing. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, let's move on. So yeah, all those changes. I guess we'll figure out what's going on there. It's going to take a little more playing to get used to. I think it's just so new that none of us really know what's going on. So I want to hear some more opinions from the community. I listened to the Zach and Beats podcast that they did with Mr. Sage, and they were talking a lot about their opinions on it, and I really like hearing other people's opinions. So if you want to drop, comments or whatever, or on your own podcasts, tell your opinions on this because I'm very interested. I don't have a strong one. I guess I'm just leaning towards the idea that this kind of sucks a little. But again, it hasn't gotten me to stop playing. I'm not sure. I mean, there's always those people who will say that they're gonna stop playing and they never do. So
There's a lot of that, and I'm not going to say I'm going to quit because I'm not going to quit because I do enjoy the game, and
yeah,
even more the community. Like I love this community.
yeah,
There's so many great people. Like from day one, I was made to feel like I was part of the group.
mm-hmm.
And I never felt like the new guy really. And it's just continued to get better from there. Like it's just a great community to be a part of. So it's a fun game. I don't want to quit. It's a fun community. I don't want to not have it around. And I'm just going to ride it out and adapt to whatever changes come.
Yeah, totally. I think that's the smartest play, and I'm in the same boat. So we'll continue to share points on that as the game progresses, I'm sure. So we talked a little bit about the shop drop that's coming, but I don't know specifically. Let me quickly pull up my app. I have it open. When is it coming? 10 days from now. So the next shop is the Summer QB. I'm right on that, right? Summer QB?
Yeah. And they showed like a little snippet so you can see that it's wearing like a little duck float. What are those called? The little
floaties
around you. Yeah, floaty. So I don't know. We'll see what it looks
Is that what's happening? Okay, I can't really tell because it's actually just a sliver.
Yeah, it's tiny, but I think the community's figured out that it's like a little rubber duck floaty thing around.
Oh, is it? Okay. So I see a little drink again, just like the ice cubey. I see a little drink in the little sliver that they did. So I guess they're going with the alcohol, the 21 plus theme, or I guess in Canada it's 19 plus, but it looks maybe like it's another martini glass. Did you see that?
I kind of got a glimpse of it. I did see. Okay. I think I saw somebody say that the ice cubes in it were ice cubies in the drink.
Oh, that's really cool.
I'm not looking at it right now. I don't know if you have it where you can zoom in.
I can't. No, I don't. Unfortunately, and it's not a great picture either. It's very hard to kind of figure out what's going on in the picture. I don't even
because I don't have that up. I was looking at the medium here.
No, yeah, I have no idea where it's at actually. Oh wait, maybe the wiki will. Oh yes, Coin Hunt World Wiki. Twitter always comes in clutch. Thank you. Oh yes, you're right. Okay. It's a ducky. You can see the ducky floaty around a waist, maybe a QB waist. Here's my problem. Why does the QB look like he's got skin?
I think
it's skin colored,
like tanned, like or sunburned or something.
It's throwing me off that he's got skin. Like it's skin colored.
Yeah, that's crazy, but
that's weird for a QB.
I would like to know if the ice cubes are the actual ice cubies in the drink.
That would be cool. Now I'm correcting myself here because it's not a martini glass. It's just a drink with a lime in it. I'm gonna have the picture up on the video somewhere here. So if you're watching the YouTube version, you'll be able to see it. You'll see how crazy we're talking. But yeah, this is a good opportunity to buy. So
are you gonna buy the blueprint?
Of course. I mean, so the last time this particular shop drop happened, it was winter, and I forget who the guest on the episode was, but of course I was talking about wanting to buy it and why you should buy it. And so I guess I'll reiterate those points because it made so much sense. If you take a look right now at the auction house, of course there's some key inflation going on, but the last, what was it? Season QB was the Ice QB. And that blueprint, let me take a look, is going for Well, there's one in the auction house for 500 keys right now. So there's no bids on it. But
definitely profit to be made then.
Yes. To me, it's a no-brainer. I always buy the shop QB, just because, again, there's that profit to be made. Oh, pardon me. I thought I was going to sneeze again. But so, and it's so easy to purchase. 2 yellow keys. You get a great looking QB usually, and it becomes a slightly valuable item. And I know people are even selling ice QBs, so you have the opportunity to sell these summer QBs, turn a little profit. If you're a new player, it's a perfect opportunity. If you're an OG player, I know you're obviously going to buy it and hold it. And if you're smart, if you're really smart and you have the keys, buy extras on the day, because those always get listed in the auction house and they always go for around 200 each, because that's about what they are at the time. And you can usually turn a profit that way too. So here's what I do. And maybe this is just me being, I've been key rich for a while now. So maybe this is getting to my head, but what I'll do is I'll try to buy 3. So I'll buy 1 from the shop and then 2 from the auction house. And then I'll sell 1 at a decent profit, and then I'll hold on to the 2. And if the price gets outrageous, then I'll sell another 1, and then I'll always hold a 3rd. But other than that, that's kind of my strategy when it comes to shop drop blueprints. You getting this one?
I probably will. I keep thinking I won't, because I'm trying to still replenish my key stack. But like you said, it's dumb not to buy it, because
you got to get 1.
Yeah, this is the cheapest it's going to be. It's dumb not to have it. And even if you don't buy extras, like the ability to print any particular QB down the road, it could always be potentially useful.
Exactly. We don't know the utility behind any of the QBs. And if you think about the importance of a QB, I'm thinking the elemental QBs will be some of the most important QBs, because I don't know. I just think if you think earth, air, fire, water, just that kind of thing mixed in a game is very necessary. And the summer, or no, sorry, not the summer, the season QBs. I also feel like those might have some legitimate utility behind them too. That could be a ways away. We're probably very far from that. But just
even the lesser ones, like the pizza, when
Right.
structures come around and people start building maybe a pizza structure,
Exactly.
is that going to be something useful? And the new players aren't going to have those blueprints for all of these QBs we're getting now.
Exactly. Yeah, and they'll want to buy the PT QBs or try to get their own blueprint, and at that point, the blueprints will be expensive, QBs will be expensive, so that'll be a good time. What else do we got going on here? So I want to know. I mean, I kind of asked a little bit about this, but the walking system, you're liking it overall? It's been a benefit to you. You said that you had a bunch of key booths in your area. So was it actually a good thing for you or not?
I liked the removal of the key booths, because I didn't like feeling like I had to go into every parking lot or sneak behind every church building. Grab every key. But then instead of deleting them, they turned them into system vaults.
Right. Yeah.
So I was able to skip them for a while, but then when the event hit and I needed every vault possible, now I'm back into creeping behind the buildings and the churches and whatever.
Yeah.
But the walking mechanic itself, I do like it. I like the incentives to get out and to get some activity. And I took advantage of it during the event, to barely keep enough keys to be able to finish. I don't, and this is my opinion as a person that doesn't really play for the leaderboards, I don't like how much weight they put on the walking quests for leaderboard points.
Oh, wow.
It seems like if you're playing for the leaderboard, then now you're almost required to do the side quest as opposed to the main part of the game.
Okay.
And it just seems, I feel like there should be some incentive. I just feel like it's weighted it's almost too much.
I will counter that, and I'll say that it's. I think, I mean, I've been vocal about the fact that I think it's a good thing. I think that they flipped the meta on its head, and the only way to actually compete for leaderboards is you have to complete every walking quest every day for the whole month, or else you won't get top 5, no matter what you do. That's just how it is. And the amount of leaderboards you get for completing those, like the last, let's just say the last one, the 8th quest, it's a hell of a lot. It's nice watching your name swing up there. And coming from someone who's done the walking quests for a month straight, I think that it's doable, and I think that it's very rewarding key wise and leaderboard point wise. So I'm very in favor of it, but I understand your point where it's weighted heavily. It totally flipped it. I think the point was to combat the car driving and the sheer amount of vaults you can hit while driving. I think they did a good job combating that. I do think they left a very big hole for leaderboard points in general, because now the only way to get leaderboard points is to walk. I mean, even look at the newest change this week as well, right? Rebuilding your user vaults don't give you any leaderboard points anymore.
They give you points for those, unless you're a new player. You get your first 10. Yeah, but for most of us, that are in Discord or listen to this podcast, we've been playing long enough that
you filled 10. Yeah. You filled 10, or you filled your 5 and somebody else's 5. I don't get any more points for it. I wish so it's funny because I was moving around user vaults, and I had left, and took my hiatus, and I left like 3 or 4 dozers just going, and then I heard about this change. I was like, I better go fill them and see if I had filled whatever the amount. It was 1,000 pucks, and I didn't really do the math because I had filled a bunch of dozers. Like I filled probably 100 dozers, right? So I didn't get any points for that, let me tell you.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And I don't disagree with you on the how much it's weighted. It's just coming from my point of view of somebody who doesn't really play for the leaderboards or occasionally for the locals only. But I did notice, like, when I print, used to when I would do a buddy quest, print a rare QB, print an epic QB, fill a dozer, I could see that movement on the leaderboard.
Yeah.
And now none of that moves you.
Nothing. None of that. You could do all of that on the 3rd day of the month and you still wouldn't move.
And that's why I feel like it's too weighted towards one aspect of the game, and it doesn't leave any room, because even just doing the 5th goal on a walking quest is a decent jump.
Yeah, it does it. Yeah, it does it.
And if you're doing all 8, that's huge.
Yeah, all 8 can definitely help you push for global leaderboards. So it's funny because let me take a look at your wiki page real quick here, because you said you don't go for leaderboard points, and I remember looking at your local leaderboards, and you're 3rd, 4th, 1st, 4th, 3rd. You do pretty good on the Georgia leaderboards, I must say.
That sounds good until you realize my only competition is Anakura, and another player we have, Dorky Dad, who was he plays driving around all day, and those two were always the ones to beat, and the rest of the competition, up until recently anyways, really isn't there. So like getting top 5 has always been like casual play gets you to top 5.
Right.
And if one of those two has a couple of weekends out of state and they take their headquarters, that's how I got to number 1. It wasn't really by beating them. Yeah, it wasn't by beating them. It was just by them like not being here for like a week at a time.
Well, I've never gotten first on my local leaderboards, so I think first on a local leaderboard is something to be proud of, man. That's and
I like it. I mean, I like those 50 blue keys.
I mean, that's huge. We all know 50 blue keys is absolutely huge.
That's a mystery box now.
That's a rare, very rare mystery box. Come on now. And It's funny because you are right. I will back you up. You don't play for the leaderboards because being first in Georgia on the month of March, you didn't even place on the United States leaderboards. So that just goes to show the competition that you have, because you placed first on us in a state and you didn't get top 50. So that does show you the competition.
Yeah, me breaking like 300 or 200 in the country is tough.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not that the competition here isn't good at playing coin hunt. It's just that there's not a lot of it.
Yeah.
So like if you play casually, you're in the top 10. If you play a little bit moderately hard, you're in the top 5.
Right.
And
if you go for it, then you can make it.
Yeah. And then there's some states where I wouldn't even attempt it. I wouldn't even bother.
What states do you think would be that you wouldn't want to even go to? California?
So I've been to Florida. They have a lot of heavy players.
Okay.
They have a lot of great players. And I'm in some of their discords from when I traveled, and it's great guys down there.
Yeah.
But there's no way I would be able to compete.
So Florida's tough.
10. Yeah.
Okay.
I
know Cali's tough. Cali's always tough.
I feel like we have a lot of players in Pennsylvania, right?
Yeah. And Beats won't let you take first, so that one's always tough.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's states where like there's no way I would be able to compete. So being number one here is not a huge accomplishment. It's
amen.
I'm proud of it and I liked it and I enjoyed the keys. And I only pushed for it like when I accidentally got I think it was like Anakura was like away for a week or a weekend or something.
Oh yeah. You pounced.
And I accidentally got up to first and I was like, okay, now I'm gonna push.
Yeah.
And so when he came back, I was actually, having to fight to keep the spot.
Right. Yeah.
But I wouldn't have done it just like on a normal month.
Right. That's awesome. So I guess we can move on to I have a final topic here, but this is relatively new. It's the volcano quest. Well, it's more the monuments, right? So we have monuments now in Coin Hunt World. The first of which being the volcano quest. You've heard all about this one. There's a volcano. There's the Tiki Chief in Hawaii right now, where you can go there and do this quest. I believe the Hawaii players haven't done it yet, so we're waiting on confirmation on what actually happens and getting that epic blueprint. But I listened, like I said, I listened to that Zach and Beats podcast, and it sounds like people are still under the impression that this is a doable thing. Do you ever plan on going out there to Hawaii with 9 other players and completing this?
It seemed more doable before they nerfed the system vaults.
Right.
Because I could put some of my CHW earnings towards traveling and getting out there and doing that. So I'm not counting myself out of doing it, but I think it would be more likely I would be going there for another purpose.
Right.
Already, instead of making just for that.
I get that. And, Hawaii is a vacation destination, it's where people's families are and stuff like that. It's still part of the States. So I understand like going there, but the problem is with this volcano quest is bringing the 9 people you also need to complete this with you. Because, it's no secret. I did the podcast with Makiki Tiki last week, and he was telling us that it was a little bit difficult to scavenge the 9 players he needed. There will be a little bit of leftover, but if you're not a native of the islands, then it's going to be extremely, extremely hard unless you bring 9 other Coin Hunt World players to Hawaii on purpose to go do this. So I would be surprised if the Tiki Chief blueprint made it off of the Hawaii island, the island of Hawaii.
I feel like at least one group, and it might not be soon because scheduling is going to be crazy for this, but I feel like at least one group of 9
eventually
do it. Yeah.
Okay. Because you're right. It is there forever. Yeah. So you can go whenever you want, right? That's not a very bold assumption because, you could be 10 years down the road. I was right.
Yeah. I think it'll be probably within the next 2 years.
Okay.
A group of 9 will go like for the strict purpose of doing the volcano.
Yeah. I think they'd have a better chance if, the Hawaii event produced another purple vault next year, but I guess they're not going to do that. So, we never know what they're going to do, but they've kind of said that, it's kind of enough on the purple vaults for Hawaii. I think the $5,000 drain on their bank account really hurt.
That's why we all got nerfed over here. Is because
exactly.
They hit it for $5,000.
They're trying to make up for that. That's hilarious.
I'm interested to see where the monuments go from here. Like how many we're going to get on the mainland. Like, are we going to have a handful in Canada? Are we going to have a handful in the States? Or is it just going to be like one per country?
That's the problem. See, if they really wanted to figure out how this mechanic works, they drop it in a prime location. Like, usually I'm a little greedy on my own podcast, so I'd be like, drop it in my area. We'll help you out. We'll test all the mechanics. But if you really want to test this thing, drop it on the West Coast somewhere where Vancouver and Cali go for it, and we could really see what this type of game mechanic can do for the game. If it was a epic blueprint, I'm sure we'd start seeing like a flow of those QBs coming in. It would be really something. But it's such an exclusive part of the world. Like, Hawaii is not just not hard and long to get to, but it's expensive to get to. It's expensive to stay there. So, they've kind of isolated it a little bit, but like you said, it's going to be there forever, and there's going to be more introduced. I'm hoping, that obviously I get one near me, and I want one near you as well. That would be nice. But what's the next one do we see? Like, there's not going to be one for the Canada or July or the Independence Day event. So maybe the next anniversary event we see another monument coming, or what do you think?
The anniversary event sounds good for it because it's like, it's one of the biggest, structure additions or quest additions to the game. So it seems like, that's a good place to put the next one, along with other new mechanics that we're going to get between now and then.
Right. I think you're right. Putting that in the anniversary event makes sense because the anniversary events there's only been one, the Elemental Invasion, but they did it up big. I imagine they're going to do it up big again for this one. They have a little bit of time to plan it. I'm also looking forward to the new Legendary that comes out. Do you think you can afford it?
Oh, no way. There's no way. But apparently it's not going to be an auction house drop. So
I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Why do you think that?
I think they stated it's not going to be auction house, but they haven't told us what it is going to be.
I thought I saw that it wasn't going to be a shop drop and it wasn't going to be something else, but I didn't see that they specifically said no auction house.
Yeah, I think no auction house, no shop. And what was the third? There was a third one, right? There was another thing it wasn't going to be.
Yeah, there was something else. So they have they have a new injection method to put this into the game then, do you think?
I don't know. I mean, some people have said, maybe a Twitter contest, a raffle, or they're just going to give it to Manel, or, whatever the thing is.
I liked the person with the most keys kind of gets it, but maybe that's a little unfair. Now I'm just thinking of the best way, maybe. Oh, can you hear me still?
Yeah, you're still here.
Oh, okay. Maybe the best way to do it is to do it like the most fair way. That I don't know how that would be, but I also think that it's nice to be able to reward very long time players who have been waiting around. Like, I would expect them to be able to, you know, I mean, I think Block Boy wants a run at this legendary. And I interviewed him last year, right before the legendary was about to come out, and he seemed pretty amped about getting that thing out of Zach's hands. So I just don't know how they would release it if it's not on the auction house and they want to do it slightly fair, you know? So do you have
I
any
don't know what
ideas?
that would be. I feel like
Yeah.
no matter what you did with it, there's going to be people that are saying it's not fair. But you're right. It's a legendary. It's in the name. It's a one of a kind. It should be something that, people that have worked up for it should have a chance at. Like, Block Boy. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
People are saying Squeamies wanting to go for it. Those are the players that have worked really hard and have been saving. So it would be it would hurt for them if they did something like a raffle or a contest where like any schmo could get it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so I don't know. We'll see where that's going.
Yeah. And not to mention the last legendary took almost a year to even print. Right. So it's also got to go to a dedicated player. If it doesn't go to a dedicated player, I mean, the last legendary blueprint went for $5,000 USD. So if it doesn't go to like I'd say a top 10 player, then we might not ever see that QB be printed. And, we haven't even seen the buffs of all the buffs of the architect itself, right? I mean, that could be another one of those things where they say something is coming, but they don't have it in the pipeline. So
Yeah.
I wish I wish I knew what was going on, I wish there was a heads up. I wish there was a team that gave us Medium articles weekly. That would be good. Is that too much to ask for?
Mystery.
What's that?
But then where's the mystery? You gotta have the adventure, right?
I guess so. I know a lot of players who would wish for even a roadmap would be great.
Yeah, it is. I'm not bothered by not knowing, but it's
Right.
more frustrating when things are announced and then those things never happen. I think that's more frustrating than just blanket not knowing stuff.
Right. And because they get a little excited about wanting to share some information and then they kind of get ahead of themselves and then we get our expectations up. So what I really hope they avoid this problem is if they do like a Coin Hunt World convention. Now I've heard that it could possibly be this summer, and if they do it this summer, I'll be really, really, really upset with that because there needs to be like a time frame allotted, right? There needs to be a massive amounts of heads up, preferably 6 months, especially if you're trying to put something together like this. And just with their track record, I just know that's not happening, so I have to be like expected to jump on a plane in 2 weeks, if they're doing this thing in July.
Yeah, and they're talking about it being Vegas, so like
Right.
large portion of the player base. I know Canada's not that far, but it's still an international trip for people that you have to plan for.
Exactly. Yeah. And hotels once you get there and all the whole jazz. Right. And so, I wouldn't really let that affect me. I would for sure go 100% if they announced that they were doing something like that, but preferably I'd like to know in advance what's going on. And that goes for the same for the updates in the game, like we had no idea that these nerfs to the system vaults, to the events, we had no idea these were coming and they were just spraying on us. And there were plenty of good ideas beforehand of other options they could have taken. But it's already out. It's happened. So maybe I need to go out there and start testing it myself before I keep with my negativity over here.
Yeah. See how you feel about putting a blue key in a system vault and getting a question you don't know the answer to, and then you've spent 2 blue keys on 2 cents.
Yeah, that'll be a problem.
Yeah.
That'll be a phone throwing moment.
Well, that's another thing that goes back to the green vault nerf, because my thought was, okay, well now green vaults are better than system vaults because it's 10 blue keys for
70
for
70
70
cents. Yeah.
70 cents,
Whereas
or 10 blue keys, forge up and hit a green vault, but now you can't do that every day.
right.
Yeah. So
no, the whole meta is changing. I don't think everybody has figured out how to play properly yet. If there is a way, but everybody's cryptos took a hit. So, that happened. Wow. You know what? I'm looking at your QB again. It looks really, really awesome. The Jack Sparrow with it. Oh, it's so fantastic.
I don't know if you can see it, but there's you can see the Bitcoin in one of the braids.
Yeah. That's awesome. With in one of the 9 pieces of 8.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're a Pirates of the Caribbean fan, 2 pistols. Wow. Those would have been really hard to reload back in the day.
Yeah. Well, that's why he's got 2.
Double barreled.
Yeah. But yeah, he did a great job with that. I was just like,
awesome.
Here's what I want. I want a cat. I want Jack Sparrow. Put it together, and he pretty much, he asked for my input through the process, but he really that's all him. He did the whole thing.
There's even dark shadow around the eyes. It's fantastic. Well,
yeah, the more you blow it up and look at it, the more you see.
Yeah, exactly. All the rings on the cube fingers.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. All right.
Yeah, and even one of those rings is silver, so he didn't just
yeah, he didn't just do that.
So many little details.
Exactly. All right, ApertureCat. It's been an hour and a half. Pleasure talking Coin Hunt World with you. I'm glad I've got to kind of get this nerf off our chests, I guess, a little bit. It was a lot of content this week. Sorry I wasn't really keeping up and playing Coin Hunt World a lot this week, but I'm glad you were able to step in and help me figure out what was going on. So I thank you for that.
This was fun. This was I didn't expect to get the invite, and I'm glad you did. It was fun. This is awesome to get to talk to you.
Of course, man. You've been very popular in the Discord. There was a lot of mention of people who wanted to hear you on the podcast. So Beats told me after our episode that he wanted to hear you on there. Minel's been shouting for you this whole time. So it's been a blast though. I'm glad I had the opportunity to talk to you because you're obviously a big fan of Coin Hunt World, and so am I, and it just clicks when it's like that, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's and a lot of it's just a great community, so I want to be there and talk to everybody a lot,
Exactly. Yeah.
So, but yeah, thanks. That's some very humbling words there, and
yeah. Well, no worries, man, and I hope you in your future in Coin Hunt World, we'll keep in touch. But I want to know how you're liking the new events, and we'll probably reconvene on around the next big event, and we'll figure out how it really affected us, right? So, but until then, it was great having you on. I really want to thank you for coming on again, and it's been a pleasure. So,
that's awesome. Thanks.
All right, thank you. Bye now.